Hey ECHL fans, you can find every episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Step into the action with ECHL Ice Level, your front row seat to all things ECHL. Experience the thrill of the game through player interviews and insider updates on the league. Welcome back and happy Thursday. My name is Amanda Aerosmith.
I'm Joe Babick. We are ECHL Ice Level hosts.
We'll be dropping a new episode every week on Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. You can expect to hear from players, coaches, and staff within the league.
Today we'll be joined by Adirondack Thunder goaltender Jeremy Brodeur, obviously coming from the family of Martin Brodeur. His dad, one of the best goaltenders in hockey history, so we'll learn a little bit about his journey and his career and growing up in that. But as you can tell, Amanda, it's the middle of November, which means school day game time.
Yes, we've got lots of those this week. I thought we only had them 1 or 2 days. No, we have school day games Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's a really busy week coming up here.
But always fun games to be at and watch. A lot of kids, a lot of screaming, a lot of Baby Shark, a lot of SpongeBob. So always a lot of fun to have the energy in the crowd at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, lots of sold out games too, which is really exciting, especially during the day. You know, everyone gets a little break from work. Watch on your lunch break, watch while you're drinking coffee wherever you are in the U.S. Always a good time when we have school day games.
And the players love it because they're home and done with their day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's great from that standpoint too.
Could not ask for a better day. I'm sure they would agree with that.
Jeremy, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you taking some time to talk to us and the fans who are on the Ice Level podcast. You and the team both off to a good start this season, coming off last year when the team went to the Eastern Conference Finals. How important was it for you guys to start strong again this year?
Yeah, last year was a pretty special group, and we didn't really know, what we were going to look like coming into the summer. But we made some good signings, got a couple guys returning from last year, and so far, we've played well in close games, and it's been a great start to the season for us.
Yeah, so obviously, as we just touched on, there's some familiar faces on the roster, also some new guys. So how has that bond been forming so far with the team itself on and off the ice?
It's been great. I think, our coach Pete's been doing a great job of getting us together, just like on and off the ice, making things competitive and fun and finding things for us to do to kind of gel together quickly as a team. And, so far it seems like, we got a very friendly group.
You've had sold out crowds for each of your first 3 home games. Glens Falls is kind of that special place. It's got the small town atmosphere. Everybody knows everyone. The building, it's electric, when there's 2,000 people in the building, when there's 5,000 there and it's rocking. Just talk a little bit about, the atmosphere in the building and just the vibe around town here.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that people around the league don't know too much. How amazing our fan base is. It's we're a small hockey market, but we pack this building, and they really help us elevate us. When we're when things aren't going too well, when other teams are playing well in our building, our fans pick us up. So even dating back to playoffs last year, like even conference finals, our fans, you couldn't even hear yourself in the building. So it's a pretty special place to play, and I've loved every second of it so far.
Do you think that impacts not only, you on the ice, but also the team, just having electric fans in there? It's super loud, super competitive.
Yeah, sometimes, when games are tight or guys maybe not be feeling too well, they know that, just something as simple as a big hit's gonna electrify, our crowd and, kind of motivate everyone a little bit, as the game goes on.
Definitely. So going into this weekend, you guys play against Reading. They've had some ups and downs, but so far they're sitting in third right now. How important are, these games before you guys head down south for that trip?
Yeah, the hockey down south's a bit different than in our division, just as far as the physicality and just the way teams play. So us, kind of being on the lighter end of the schedule, we haven't gotten too many reps in. It'll be nice, play that 3-3 this weekend against an opponent we're going to be seeing a lot of this year. So we saw them twice in preseason, but we're excited to get going against that Reading team.
Obviously, your dad is one of the best, most successful goaltenders in hockey history. So Just tell us a little bit what it was like growing up in that atmosphere. You were young during the latter days of his playing career, but I'm sure you're around the locker room and other players. So just what it was like being around not only him, but the successful teams and players he played on and with.
Yeah, the Devils back in that day, was a whole different franchise than what it is now. They kind of played a shutdown defense, and now nowadays they have that electrifying offense. But it was pretty cool growing up, around the hockey rink. I didn't. I never grew up any different. So I now like I kind of realize how special it was. But back then it was just growing up. But no, it was pretty cool. Getting to go to the Olympics, the Stanley Cups, and do all those fun things. And I went to boarding school when I was a bit older for the end of his career, so I didn't get to see too much towards the end. But growing up, in my younger ages, I got to go on the weekends and whenever it wasn't too late.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty cool experience that, not everyone gets to go through. So did you start playing based on the influence from your dad, or were you just on skates pretty much since you were born? How did that come about for you?
I was on skates at a pretty early age. I have a twin brother, older brother that I grew up at a young age with. All playing hockey together, and then my little sister played a little bit of hockey too. But I played out until I was about 8, 9 years old, I think, and then finally when my older brothers, like the age groups like split up a bit more. We were both he was a goalie, so like I was a forward, me and my twin, and then I turned out to not be too good at forward, so I decided I was gonna try playing goalie too.
Guess that worked out for you, didn't it? So walk us through, obviously you started playing pretty early. You were on skates growing up around your dad. You went and you were on a few different AAA teams. So how was that transition from there to the OHL and then going into your first year with them winning the Memorial Cup?
Yeah, so I went to boarding school at Shattuck St. Mary's and played one year of like a midget U18 AAA, and we had a very good team, very successful, and I was drafted the year prior to the Oshawa Generals, and it was a pretty interesting transition because I went right into like a really powerhouse team. So I was the backup the first year, but I also got to play a lot of games because we had a very good team. So we ended up winning the Memorial Cup my first year, which was pretty special, which kind of topped off my junior career at a very early stage. But no, it was great. I spent all 3 of my years as juniors on the same team, and got to play a lot of games. We made the playoffs every year, so it was good for my development. Got a lot of games played, and played with some really good players.
And then going into your pro career, you started in Allen with the Americans, with Steve Martinson, who obviously is a colorful character and one of the most successful coaches, not only in ECHL history, but minor league hockey history. So what was that like going in as a rookie to a team coming off 2 championships in a row and with Steve as the head coach?
Yeah, definitely. Until you get to know him, pretty intimidating off the start. But I thought Steve was a great coach. He kind of guided me in the right direction, and earned myself a call up to the AHL. Didn't get to play any games, but got to spend a couple weeks in San Jose. But it was super fun. It was my first experience getting to play out in Texas in the Mountain Division, and just like traveling all the different areas. Right in the Mountain Division, it's so spread out. You go to like Idaho, Utah. Back then, even Colorado was in, so it was a pretty cool experience. And I actually started that year in Wichita and got cut out of camp, so it was fun to battle against them all year.
So playing in a lot of different cities and towns here and also, around leagues too, was there any particular spot or team that really stood out to you throughout your journey?
Yeah, I would say as of right now, last year was probably the most special year of my like minor hockey career. Just because we had a long win streak, a lot of memorable moments in the season, and then finishing atop of the conference was a pretty cool accomplishment for us, and fell a little bit short in playoffs, but it was a lot of valuable experience with with a really really special group of guys.
Couple years ago in the 22-23 season, you went overseas, played in Manchester in the EIHL. So just kind of walk us through your decision to first go over there and try out the European game and then come back last year to the States.
Well, yeah. So I started the year in Norfolk, and they got a couple goalies sent down, and didn't end up making the team there, and then actually got to just move my gear from the homeroom to the away room and play the home opener against them for South Carolina, which was a pretty funny story. Got the win against them, and then got a call, with an opportunity to go play hockey overseas, and heard a lot of good things. I've actually been in that league prior. While during COVID hits, so I was a little bit familiar with it, but was just excited. Just wanted to play some games, and it's actually a very that league's gotten very good over the past couple years, and it's been so I don't know. It was a kind of out of spite. I wanted to play games. I mean, ultimately my goal was to get back to playing hockey in North America. So, it was good to take that year to play 35 plus games and see a lot of rubber, and then come back.
Yeah, so being back in the States, you had quite the memorable AHL debut in an empty rink. I believe it was you stopped 47 out of 50 shots, correct me if I'm wrong. And that was in a loss to Hershey. So just walk us through, again, some of the time with the AHL and your debut there. How was that just walking in?
Yeah, that was a funky year, right? That was kind of COVID. Some leagues were going on, some weren't. So I started the year in Knoxville in the SPHL, and then got the call that they needed an extra body in Jersey. So I figured, I feel like it would be best to just live at home and practice with having like the valuable experience of like a good goalie coach the entire year. I think really helped my career to this day. And now being back in the organization with the same goalie coach, and Brian Eklund has been awesome. And no, it was a pretty cool experience. Empty rink, practice rink in Jersey, and got peppered with shots again. And I think the most fun part about that day was playing against Matt Molson, and he's like just like talking about how he played against my dad and scored goals on him and stuff. It's just pretty funny.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
there's not many guys who can say they scored goals against, a son and a father. So even though he scored against you, it's probably a cool story for both of you to have, down the road when you're retired in, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, 100%. We got a good chuckle out of it for sure.
So talk to us here about, probably a really big experience for you that you'll always remember, being able to play at Prudential Center with the Devils in the preseason game this year against the Rangers. How special was that, coming back home to Jersey and being able to play on a team that your dad once was?
Yeah, going into camp, we kind of knew the schedule kind of got a little messed up over the summer. They took that overseas trip a little late, so they had some overlap with the preseason games, and a lot of guys knew that we had opportunities. So, right off the get-go at camp, guys were excited to maybe get a chance to play in some preseason games, put on a Devil sweater, and fortunately, I got to start in one of the games, and it was it was pretty special. Grew up in that rink, watching games, and it was really cool to get a win, even though it was just a preseason game. It was a super fun experience. A lot of nerves at the start, but once the game got going, really, really joyful.
We
Definitely.
took some questions from fans on social media. So these next few questions have been submitted by people out there listening and watching the podcast here. So the first one, as a goalie in the family of obviously one of the best to ever play the game, is there more pressure for you, or is there less pressure, or how does that relate to your playing days?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with my dad being who he is the whole time, so I kind of got used to it at an early age. So I wouldn't say there was much pressure. I never really put much pressure on myself. I just I do really enjoy hockey, and playing goalie, and trying to win games for my teammates. So it's I never felt too much pressure growing up, and even now, I just try to do me and try to make it as far as I can, and win as many games as possible every year.
The next question we have is, what's your favorite ECHL team that you've played for in your career so far?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to say the Adirondack Thunder, just because I know that's where I'm here now, so it's more fresh. But this will only be the second time in my career where I've went back to the same place. After the season before, so it's and that the other team was in Allen, and I loved playing in Allen too. It's really cool. Being out in Texas in the warm weather and stuff, and like I said, how unique the Mountain Division is. But all in all, I'd have to say here in Glens Falls. Just the passion of the fan base and the way we're treated is, I think probably one of the best in the league. So it's something I really appreciate and why I enjoy being here.
What's your favorite game day food? Do you have a routine, a typical meal you have before a game, or do you switch it up?
I switch it up. I mean, I like a pretty simple chicken parm, but sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I'll go off the board and pick something else. But that's usually my go-to when I can't make a decision.
It's the Jersey in you. Bouncing off of that, we had someone ask, is there or what is the one warm-up that you always do before a game?
I always play soccer with the guys. We play keep up with the soccer ball, and that's a way for me to have fun and stay warm at the same time, and just to be with the guys before the game and have our fun before we kind of go into battle together is kind of the one warm up I really like to do.
All right, this is probably the big question that all goalies get. Would you rather score a goal or be in a fight?
Ooh, score a goal.
Have you ever come close? Have you tried to shoot at an empty net before?
I have. One time I ended up shooting over the glass because I panicked last year. And I had one time I got close and the guy high sticked it. But
oh my God.
Yeah, you don't get the green light too often to shoot the puck, so you never know.
Did your dad's puck handling genes get transferred down to you?
Maybe not all of them. A couple of them, no.
Awesome. Well, that's all we have today for you, Jeremy. We appreciate you taking time on your busy schedule here to hop on with us and chat, share a little bit more about yourself and your family and your journey so far with everyone listening. So just again, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks to Jeremy for joining us today. Some good stuff from him. Next week, we have a very special episode, Amanda. We'll have Joey Ratz from the Kalamazoo Wings coming back from his fight with cancer. So that's a good inspirational story and good to see him back out on the ice and playing again for the K-Wings.